So the question is, will I ever get rid of Trigger? And will I ever get rid of little Morris? So the reason I'm doing this video is because when I was doing my last fish room tour, what I tend to do is I tend just to do it off the cuff. I say what comes out, I say what I'm thinking, I don't plan anything. And I got talking about, obviously I'd started off by moving Trigger in this tank because I wasn't happy with the tank he was in. And obviously I mentioned that little Morris is a little bit bigger and he's in a smaller tank, and that I wasn't happy with the size of the tanks that these fish were in. And I said that I'm not in a position, or even, it's not that I'm not in a position, I'm not in a want or desire to get bigger tanks. Spent a lot of time on my fish room and a lot of money, and I'm happy with how it is. But so many comments came in on that video around what I should do with Trigger and what I should do with little Morris. Some of the suggestions were bring little Morris up here and move Trigger on. Probably not a conversation I'm going to get into, because if you've watched my channel for a long time, you'll know that it would be the Trimac that I picked over the Midas. For so long I have wanted a true Amphilophus Midas or an Amphilophus Red Devil, and I've never owned, or I can never prove that I've owned a true Amphilophus Midas, but this one is. What am I doing? What's going to happen? Now, I'll be dead honest with you, Trigger is better in here, so, well, it's me in it that's bothered, not Trigger. He's got a better footprint, and this just gives him more room, because he turns and twists a lot, which I said in that other video, but I feel better with him in here, so I'm going to keep him in here for now. And if I'm being honest, guys, when I'm gibbering on with myself, I'm not going to get rid of Trigger. I can't do it. I did a little bit consider it, but I'm not going to do it. But for now, I feel fine with him in this tank. So many of you commented that they think that this tank's big enough for him. A couple of people said I could get more fish in here. So yeah, we all have different opinions, but it's nice to hear people's opinions and nice to hear what you would do. And it's also nice to hear from fellow monster cichlid keepers, because they've been in this position, they know, they understand. So massive shout out for everybody that commented. But it's mad that I did a fish room tour and this was the subject that everybody picked up on. So I got to think to myself when I'm gibbering on with myself in my fish room tours, haven't I? But like I said, Trigger's okay in here, and I think, if I'm really honest, I think a new tank would win over a new home with Trigger. Where does that leave me with little Morris? Because this tank is not big enough for little Morris. Like I said before, little Morris is an inch bigger than Trigger, and the footprint on this tank is actually 4 inches slimmer. So he can't stay in this tank, and there is a female Leoncii in there with him. So, am I getting rid of little Morris? The answer is no. There's a couple of reasons why I'm not getting rid of little Morris. One is because for a long time I wanted this fish, like I said before, and there's no way now I've got him, I'm going to get rid of him. The other thing is, he's over 10 years old, and he's already just gone through a massive journey of about 4 hours to get to me, and I don't want to be sending him anywhere else. Now, I will have to move him though, so he's going to have to have a tank move. So what I'm going to do is, my biggest 5 foot tank, which is 5 foot long, 20 inches wide and 2 foot high, gives him another foot of that footprint. So I'm going to put him and the female in there. What I'm going to do with the fish that are in that tank, I'm going to move them in, some of them into this tank. And you remember the 5 foot tank that I took down in July? I took 5 tanks down in July, and one of them was the tank that had the Jaguar cichlids in. I'm going to put the rest of the fish in that tank. So I'm going to spread the community tank out over 2 tanks and put him in the 5 foot tank, and hopefully that will be enough. I think it will. It's a bigger tank than this. It doesn't have the corner filter in. And yeah, I think that is what, well, I don't think, I know that is what I'm going to do. But massive thank you for everyone and their ideas. Everyone's got a different opinion. If you've got a YouTube channel, you know what I'm talking about. So many people want to offer you help and offer you advice, and some trolls out there, but it's all different and everybody thinks differently, and then you get your own thoughts. But yeah, he's going to get the 5 foot and she's going to go in there with him, because these live very well together, so there's no point in splitting them up. These two fish are not going anywhere. They're both going to live out the days with me, and I may put a centerpiece in here. It's only going to be a small piece of wood if I do. Anyway guys, we're going to call it a day. I just want to say a massive thank you, as I always do, because it does mean a lot. I am honestly appreciative of all the comments that I get given. I can't do what everybody wants me to do, but you know, if I get good ideas, I'll take them. So it's very much appreciated. And it's also very much appreciated all the subscriptions, the comments and interactions. So anyway guys, that's me. I am signing off, and I'll see you all on the next one.